Reverend clergy, self-sacrificing religious, colleagues on the board and on the faculty, dear parents, grandparents, relatives, and friends, allow me to say that today's remarks and congratulations are not directed at you. As much as you are most welcome to listen in, they are for the men who I am now pleased to address for the first time as alumni of LaSalle College High School. It's true, when you've been teaching a long time, 35 years for me, memories of the various classes you encounter are always based on some association. So, I might associate the class of 2013 here at LaSalle with the 55 NCAA athletes they produced, the class of 2014 with the special Kairos group, 2015 with LaSalle's first ever bowling championship, and 2016 with the Catch. The class of 2017, somehow you become inextricably linked in my mind with SpongeBob SquarePants. No shade being thrown. I love SpongeBob. But still, I'll try to do better than that. Something dignified, befitting the occasion. When you think a little harder about it, 2017 has become the class of change, of difference. Look at your freshman yearbook for a moment. 37 of the adults pictured there won't be with the class of 2021 when they start in September, including the 10 wonderful women we farewell this year. Women will always carry in our hearts and memories. 4 more of those 37 share the joy of this day in heaven, including your beloved teacher and coach, Frank Lichtner. Many other changes have been yours as well, starting with being here today. The date, time, and location of graduation, the sites for Kairos, the availability of the pit, the timing and format of field day. You will be the only class to be remembered as the few, the happy few, that band of brothers who dined on oven-warmed tater tots in the cafetorium, but did not remain to enjoy the promised gourmet delights of the Glazer Student Center. The biggest change, though, appears in your college destinations. Simply put, you're going farther than any LaSalle class before you. 39 of you head south of Washington, D.C. I've been to every continent but Antarctica. But I admit, I've still yet to set foot in Tallahassee, Florida, Oxford, Mississippi, or Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Someday I'll get to Antarctica. Historically, when someone from LaSalle headed west of Pittsburgh, Notre Dame was the most likely destination. In 2017, 19 of you have chosen schools in such locations, 6 in California alone. Now, this might be the point where you'd expect me to segue into a couple of glib lines from Oh, the Places You Go before sending you on your way. Really? Dr. Seuss? Not from the man who taught sophomores public speaking for one day to Hogan, Blewett, and Boyle. Hogan, Blewett, and Boyle kind of sounds like Satan's law firm. Instead, my mind drifts back to March 2000, a time before most of you had celebrated your second birthdays. The golden first season of SpongeBob SquarePants, the only pre-digital one. Episode 35 begins with SpongeBob and Patrick attempting to return home from a successful outing to Glove World. Imagine their horror when they discovered they boarded the wrong bus Its destination not Bikini Bottom, but rock bottom, a nightmarish world dropped at a 90-degree angle beneath their town, home to eerie and bizarre glowfish, dwelling in what SpongeBob calls advanced darkness. While Patrick's dumb luck catches him the next return trip, SpongeBob manages to miss every bus, vehicles departing more abruptly than Tommy Lamort from that merry lineup of Christmas choristers. Just as SpongeBob gives way to despair, hope returns, like a Scanlon Meeks hashtag on social media. An angler fish with a sweet mullet returns SpongeBob's souvenir glove that was lost at the episode's beginning. Fully inflated, it lifts him safely back to Bikini Bottom. So may it be for you. Wherever you land in August, it's a safe bet that the people will be different from those you leave here today. Remember what LaSalle taught you about respect and openness. When your new world encourages you to doubt, whether the object is your values, your abilities, or your God, remember those words of affirmation a manila envelope or a notebook contain. Recall that the goal is to live the fourth, not simply to remember it. At his darkest hour, SpongeBob found himself relegated to 329th place in line for help at the Rock Bottom bus station. When you find yourself similarly situated, whether in a lecture hall at Penn State, among those trying to register for the easy 11 a.m. section of accounting at St. Joe's, or trying to get a ticket to watch the Crimson Tide roll over the Auburn Tigers in the Iron Bowl, remember patience, remember resilience. Think about that guy in 330th place. When separated from love, from those you love, by distance, as SpongeBob and Patrick were, recall one truth. The most important bonds Mrs. Mayer taught you about in chemistry weren't ionic or covalent. They were human. And human bonds are infinitely elastic. Most importantly, remember this. The time to graduate from LaSalle has come and passed. That reality is an inevitable consequence of your success. You must graduate from LaSalle, but you never really need to leave LaSalle, as some of these gentlemen seated behind me will attest. No matter how far you wander, how often you stumble, how advanced the darkness may seem, even if one of you should some way make it to Tamaqua, there'll always be a glove light guiding you back home. And when you come back, whether next Thanksgiving or 50 years from today, you'll no doubt be smarter, or at least more accomplished. Still, once you get home and pick up where you left off with this squad, you'll surely make Patrick Starr's disarming admission to SpongeBob your own. Knowledge cannot replace friendship. I'd rather be an idiot than lose you. God bless you always, gentlemen.